All right. Good evening. This is Attorney Vince Davis, and this is CPS Office Hours. You come online with me, you ask me your question, I give you your answer. All right. If you want to get in touch with us and be a person who asks a question, you're going to email Grace at vincentwdavis.com. That's GRACE at vincentwdavis.com. You could also probably call the toll-free number on the screen, 888-888-6582, and leave a message for Grace. She's our producer, and she will get it. This evening, we are going to be bringing on Heather. And Heather, good evening. How are you?
I'm doing all right. How are y'all?
Good. What state are you from, Heather?
Tennessee.
Okay. So I'll be answering your question as if it were here in California. I would assume that it's very similar to California, but if you want a real answer from a licensed Tennessee attorney, you might want to contact Connie Regally. I don't know if you know Connie, but she's on Facebook, and she's a quite the experienced CPS attorney in your state. But having said all of that, Heather, what's your question?
How to write a motion to dismiss and make sure it stays dismissed and not transferred to the correct county.
Okay, well, you know what? You've asked a question that has two parts to it.
Okay, I'm
Um,
sorry.
it doesn't, you don't have to be sorry. That's part of this, the office hours for me to try to explain things. If you're writing to a motion to dismiss, that's one thing. If you're writing a motion that might change counties, that's called a motion to change venue. So if the case is filed in the wrong county, the other side can always refile it in the right venue, in the right county. So
Okay.
that's not something that you can challenge at this point in the case.
Okay.
However, a motion to dismiss, those are I've seen them in CPS cases, but they're rarely granted, and I'll tell you why. As in a civil case, if the county doesn't make the right allegations against you, you can make a motion to dismiss. So, for example, let's say the county says, Heather, you are a drug abuser. All right. And the fact is that you're not. That is not, you can't file a motion to dismiss on that. Okay. You have to wait and prove it at the time of the jurisdictional hearing. If they say, Heather, we're filing a case against you because you wear glasses, well, that's not even jurisdictional if it were true. And you can write a motion to dismiss. Basically, in California, it's akin to something called a demur, where you can challenge the sufficiency of the allegations. And in California, you can do that under a case called In Re Troy D, Troy, initial D. You can Google that if you want. But that's what they do in California with respects to motions to dismiss. Heather, I hope that answered your question. Did you have anything else you wanted to ask me?
I'm not. Well, I know they filed their motion in the illegal county. Like the child resided where I live, and they went to a whole different county. He was actually he was still in this county that we live in when they filed for the custody of him.
Okay,
So
you shouldn't be filing a motion to dismiss. You should be filing a motion to change venue. I know you're trying to hook them together, but that's not how the analysis of the law works.
okay.
File it to change it to get it in the right county, and then you can make your motion to dismiss pursuant to cases like In Re Troy D, or you can have a
Okay.
trial and prove that the allegations are false.
Okay.
Okay. In legal cases, and especially in CPS cases, one of the most important things is the procedural rules. And a lot of people think that just common sense should rule what happens in court.
Mhm.
And that's absolutely incorrect.
Right.
Because your common sense versus my common sense versus Grace's common sense, they're all different.
Mm-hmm.
So you got to stick with the rules of law. Procedure and evidence are extremely important in CPS cases. Don't get just lost in the substantive law about whether this is child abuse or not, or whether they can prove you did something to the kid, or whether you tested positive for drugs. That's important too, But initially, you got to take a look at the procedural steps. And at the very beginning, you can always challenge the venue of the case. It might be easier for you to do a case in your venue than go to the next county over to try to defend yourself. Additionally, all witnesses and documents that you may need to subpoena, they're in your county. It would be easier for you, presumably, depending on the geographic location and the mileage, for you to subpoena witnesses and documents to your county instead of the county next door. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Anything else?
I don't think so.
Okay, that's good.
Not right now.
That's good. All right. If you have any further questions, Heather, give me a call, 888-888-6582. And if anyone watching wants to be on the show on the CPS office hours and ask me questions, just contact Grace at vincentwdavis.com or give us a call at 888-888-6582. Thank you again, Heather. Bye-bye.
Yes, sir.
All right, and everyone, thank you again for watching. We'll be on tomorrow, hopefully at I think it's 12 o'clock or 12:30 p.m. Pacific time on Saturday. So if you have a question, get in contact with Grace. Good night.